Oh yeah. And today is February 23rd of 2022. It is time for the festivities. Oh yes, it is. Let's do it.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom!
Boom. Okay, let's do it. I'm ready for that. I think so. Clickety click, clickety click.
Oh yeah, this is supposed to have sound now. You're supposed to hear me. I hope so. Supposed to hear me too. I'm not sure. I hope so. We are live. I am in Florida, and you are looking at me via the YouTube universe. Thank you very much, Jose JG, in the house, to give you and provide you a platform, a place to come in and hang out with each other and talk about the topics that we are interested in. This is not a science channel. This is not an education channel. This is a channel for entertainment purposes only. What can be entertaining for me? It could be very annoying for you. What could be entertaining for me? It could be derp for you. Maybe educational. Who knows? I'm just here to give you a place to talk to each other and hang out and have fun. So, I want to thank Mr. Space Cat for sharing the show on Discord. Boom! Thank you very much, Mr. Space Cat. I appreciate it very much. Big shout out to the man, John Hansen, if he is here, and the man, Howard Moore, for being the troll gods of the channel, biggest members of the channel. Thank you so much, and thank you to every single one of you channel members, like Mr. Victory's Radio, Farmer's Boy, I see you in the chat, Martin, the members in the chat. Thank you so much for your support. And also, I see in YouTube for being here. Shout out to Steve, Fred Bailey, Joe Mongoose. Thank you for being here. Jim's Mine, Real Cygnus. What up? Slice Parcame. How to Discord, Sly. Okay, we're gonna show you how to Discord. I don't know. I don't even know how I got Discord. Discord is, yeah, it's like a separate app. I don't do the Discord via the web, via the interwebs. I use the Windows app thing on my laptop. I know there's a way for you to use Discord on a browser, so I'm really not sure how. Hello to Komar. If you are still muted and you want to say something, please jump in and say like, I'm here. But last but not least of my shilling on the day, please hit the like under the stream. I really appreciate that. And also share the show like Mr. Space Cat did. And you can support. I need all the support that you can give me, guys, via PayPal, Super Chat, or memberships. So thank you so much, everybody that have supported so far. Big, big big proper shout out to Earth is Live and John Watson. They hooked me up with something on PayPal yesterday. Thank you so much, guys. That actually get me out of the hole a little bit. You know, I don't have to dig too far to exit the hole that I am in. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And we have Farmer's Boy in the house. But before Farmer's Boy say something, I got the lazy-eyed frog over here. I got Mama Frog and I got Baby Frog. Lazy Eye Frog said, Mobbit, Mobbit. Mama Frog say, Mobbit, Mobbit. And Baby Frog said, Mobbit, Mobbit. Thank you so much. Here they're gonna squeak. Whee! I don't know if I say that right because they might have a little bit of a cough. So they didn't maybe sound like yesterday, but they sound okay. How you doing, man?
Good afternoon. That's a lovely, awful squeaking sound that thing makes. It goes. I mean, you just automatically think, "Where's my can of WD-40?" But at the same time, you think, "No, come on, that's squeaky earth."
Right.
Yeah, there's something about it.
Very good. Okay, so all you need to do to join Discord on a browser is go to Discord on a browser. I guess if you go to discord.com, right? Let me try that. Let me try Discord. I mean, why did I space? Discord.com, right? You go on a browser, you log in with your username and password, and if you don't have one, create one. And then after that, you just join the Daily Boom Discord server. I guess, I don't know what the next step of that, how did you join, but yeah, that's it.
I think when I first joined Discord, I was using it on my browser, but then I thought, well, hang on, why aren't I just using the app?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do everything, well, nearly everything else on apps because it's easier.
Right.
I've been using the app, well, almost since day one. Like I say, I think the first few days I used the it was just another tab on me Chrome, and I thought, oh, use the app, and the app works. The only problem I have with the app is, for some reason, if you've turned your computer off, you turn it back on, the app tries to open up and it tries to update.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the time that I have issues, and I actually have to temporarily disable all of my protection software.
Right. Okay.
Because otherwise, it just sits there, and that little icon just keeps spinning, and it keeps trying to do updates, So I have to disable my firewall and I think my antivirus software. Then it does the updates, and then you can turn it back on again. It's weird. That's the only problem I have with it.
But it's doable. You know what? If Arwin can do it, anybody can do it. When Arwin joined in Discord, and he does every once in a while whenever the fuck he wants. He was so scared and he didn't want to mess with Discord. Fuck Discord, that's the devil. My handler told me not to do Discord and stuff like that. And one day he just came into Discord and he talked to us and stuff. I want to give a few shout outs more. Charlie Welch, Balanced Truths, D. Ross, Film 7 says Dinosaur Earth. Balanced Truth says, what if I misrepresent you and call you something you are not, no matter what you say? Is that okay, Jose? Well, to me, if you misrepresent me and tell me something that is, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I got thick skin, man. I've been here in the game for a while. I got thick skin. You can call me whatever you want, bro. I mean, just no personal attacks, It sounds good. It's funny. It's very funny. I like people, just having fun and having a go with me. It's good.
Well, as you say, troll responsibly.
Yeah, troll responsibly, and for being in this channel, you must have a some kind of a skin, you know. We cannot be all snowflakes. You'll melt, man.
There's no room for snowflakes.
Yeah,
Here.
there's no room for snowflakes. They'll melt. You need skin to be in the game, bro.
That's true.
Shout out to Phil7, aka Fred. Old channel was Fred. Yeah, Balance Truth is having a go over there with Charlie Welch. Have fun, guys. Yeah.
Yes, they're having a bit of a back and forth there, bless them.
Mm.
Excuse me.
I found something. I found a video clip that I want to share with you guys. Interesting. I just did my once a month flat Earth YouTube search.
Oh yeah.
My once a month flat Earth Google search, and I found something today. That was uploaded. I was uploaded 15 hours ago. So we're gonna play a little bit of this. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we'll analyze it and we'll entertain it here. Let's see. Turn off my camera.
Do we need face palm protection warning?
Well, I mean, I heard a little bit of it. I said, like, wow, this is fantastic. So, hold on, let me click over here, and we'll say if we need any warnings.
I don't want anybody to be complaining that they're in pain without fair warning, you know.
All right. You know what? The Discord I think it had an update, but it looks slightly different now on the app. Is it for you when you have the, like the pop-up screen or whatever? It showed the icons on the bottom, the other participants. It used to show me on the side. I don't know if it's something that I changed. Just in my PC.
Yes, they were. They were up the side, weren't they? They were up the right-hand side. Now they're across the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, and now in the YouTube viewing, it's kind of cool, because in the left-hand side, there's a little bit of a black bar. In the right-hand side also. But in the right-hand side, black bar, I'm able to put the participants, kind of the little list of names. And then we got the little, the viewers count or whatever. I might put a little GIF over there in the side. So yeah, I think it's cool. It doesn't hurt me, yeah. All right, so everybody, please get protected. We have a card reader. And the title of the video is Sagittarius, Flat Earth or Nah. We have a card reader by the name of Lizzie, the High Priestess.
Yeah.
And uploaded 15 hours ago with 7 views. We're gonna hear a little bit. I gotta scroll a little bit of halfway here. I'm gonna play and we'll skip and let me know if I got it. If I got a pause or something. Here we go. First of all, I tried to reach to this person to leave a comment, tell her that I'm gonna use her video. There's no way to contact in her channel or nothing, so I'm gonna take the chance and use the video. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Here we go. For use learning. Click on my screen share and let me know if you can see.
Well, I can see it.
Okay, let's see if we can hear it.
Hello, Doofus. Hello, Jose.
What
Hi,
up?
Sagittarius.
And
I'm the High
Humongous.
Priest.
Did you hear that, Farmers? Kind of a
Yes, I heard. Yes, I just about heard something.
Okay.
Under Leo. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Leo, Coleman and Farmers Boy, if you want to click on my screen share, and let's analyze this video a little bit and let's see what we got.
Okay.
I'm gonna 1.25 speed it.
Lindsay speed. Yep, go for it.
Okay, here we go.
And this can resonate in your past, present, or future. Something that you're listening to, the TV, music, etc. Okay, so this smells like love. Okay, love is in the air. Okay, wavy hair don't care is what I hear right now.
Cards.
Also see a lot of people going towards you and giving you a hug. A lot of people are sending you kisses.
Let's see what the
a lot
next
of people
card. I'm interested in the next card.
Okay,
you
overjoyed with love. I feel like getting it your way. I feel like miracles happen every day and it's happening to you as we speak. Blessings to this notion. I really like this energy. Okay. I feel like you deserve it. I feel like you're looking up at the sky.
See, guys, we big start with a positive vibe. We got all kinds of love in the air. So what could get better than that? Well, we shall see.
I see that when you're looking up at the sky, you see a star. Okay, what is it called? The fallen star. Okay, I see you as fallen stars are everywhere. Okay, I also feel like this reminds me like a star dome. Okay, you know what else this reminds me of? Okay, so today I was watching on TikTok, the conspiracy of the flat Earth and the Earth being round. There was a man that was talking about that he went to a certain location and in the North Pole, okay, and that he got to see all the icebergs and all of it was shaped like this, like that. So of course,
like what? Let me see. I mean, is it a finger, the nail, like what shaped like what?
Oh,
Yeah.
She's curving her
you were
fingers
like
around.
flying up, it would look like the world was a dome, when in reality it's not. It was shaped like this. All the ices are shaped like that.
Oh, okay? Just like that,
like
just
a
like
C.
that.
Okay, so it
Got it
also
now.
make
I understand.
You getting it, Lel? You following?
Sort of. It's called the Ace of Cups. There you go.
I'm glad that somebody is, and B, I'm amazed that somebody is. But,
it looked like the world was
Well,
round.
you know who we need
Okay,
to help us understand?
no, don't you fucking dare!
You
Don't you?
lemon bird. Damn.
Lemonberg could easily understand this. I mean, he shoots out all the time.
Oh, is it that time of day where I go and watch the grass grow out in the back garden? Bloody hell!
No. Let's watch this.
Lemon bird.
Damn it. Okay, here we go.
Wanker.
did you know that the Russians, okay,
Sorry, I had to do it.
especially Putin, is very much involved in his presence in the North Pole is very real.
Oh, I know.
Why do they have so much interest in the North Pole?
I'm sorry, who was that? What?
Why do they have so much interest in the North Pole? Who is they?
Lemon bird.
Oh man.
You should get muddled up with the South Pole.
Yeah, for you.
There's nothing at the North Pole. There's a couple of meters of ice, and then there's thousands of feet of Arctic Ocean. I mean, it's fuck all there.
So for you guys who just joined, Earth is Live. What's up, man? Fred, Left Lane. Check on my screen share. It's in the JG Jose Gary account, and I'm playing just a fun video that I found earlier. Our card reader, she is telling us a lot of insights, reading some cards over here. She already mentioned that she went to TikTok and heard about the flat Earth conspiracy, and she's talking about the North Pole here.
Cards?
I felt the need to come over here for some.
There you go.
Oh my god, he showed up. It worked. It actually works.
So many works. This is Lemon. Click on my screen share. This is very interesting. We got a tarot card reader, and she just heard about the flat Earth, and she said she's gonna make sense out of this card with this big cup. Looks like a dome and stars. Yeah, we're gonna hear about. She about to tell us.
I thought you were an alternative thinker, Lemonbird, but this girl is way more alternative than you.
No, this is good. Yeah, let me put the closed captions, and I'm gonna hit play. You should hear the voice when I hit play now.
What's going on in the North Pole that we don't know about? Okay, and you see how this is like cold? This is water. Cold water. This is blue. The natural resources it has. I also hear the fountain of youth. The fountain of youth. Isn't it funny that it makes it look like it's round, but it's really flat?
Okay, she mentioned the bluish colors on these beans that is very cold, and it actually looks round in the top, but it's flat. She's getting somewhere here. Is she a critical thinker? Is she an open-minded thinker, Lemon? What do you think so far with just that statement?
I think so. I think she's talking about Mount Meru at the North Pole Center with the four rivers coming from it. aka Eden. I think we have a memory of this watery place where all these rivers used to flow back when the land was a little bit drier. I think people say that back then it was mostly inland seas with less water than it is now before the flood. So for them, it would have been ancestral memory wise, a fountain of youth at the center of the northern pole.
All right. Let's hear a little bit further. Shout out to John Hawkins. I see that you posted a video. Well, we'll take a look at it after this. It's a few more minutes, but I know. I mean, when I played this video, I just hit play and I went halfway, and I heard I got mind blown with the stuff she said. So we're getting there, and it's a little bit sped up, so we should catch up soon. Let's hear maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll see where we go.
What if the world was actually set like this? And why is it such a big deal if it is? Why does it bother people? You know, why do we have a big argument about the world being round or of it being flat? Why does it put people in danger? Okay. Have we really reached the Earth's core?
Uh-oh.
Are you a National Geographic?
She asked me
Are
the
you
questions.
a scientist? What do you know that we don't know? Because I feel like I'm tapping into your brain. I'm picking into your brain. I hear like the sound, woo,
Oh,
the trumpet sound. Also, this gives me the Nostradamus vibe.
Can you
What
guys hear it on
is the
Discord?
trap?
I can't hear either.
you cannot hear that, but I mean, are you watching my screen share? Earth is Live?
Yes, I am.
The
Yeah.
Jose J.G. Gotti.
Yeah.
And do you have your volume, or when you're watching the screen, it should be some levels in your end, and you got the volume up?
Yeah, the volume's all the way up.
That's
we can
weird.
hear it.
Because the rest of the people here.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's weird, man.
I'll listen to it later. It's fine.
Sorry, man. Yeah, just gonna play a little bit more. We'll let you know, man.
Why is there a trap to make us believe that the world is round? What if I were to tell you, if we hit the core of the Earth, it will be a whole different realm?
Oh,
What's that movie? You
Hollow
know,
time.
To the Journey of the Middle Earth or something like that. It came out a long time ago when we were
Thank you.
kids.
Good.
You're an 80s
I'm glad
baby,
you got it.
okay? It's a journey to the middle of the Earth, and they found out it was a whole different realm. Dinosaurs still existed, and it was hot down there in the middle of the core of the Earth.
You're just watching a dodgy film.
What if it's an actual portal?
Journey to the center of the Earth, whatever
An
it's
actual
called.
portal to a different realm.
I'll tell you what. At least half my
What if
bingo cards ticked off. She's getting there. She only needs to say a few more, and I've got a full house.
But she's gonna tell us, I think, about this. Yeah. What if Antarctica? I think she's going to go there. What if Antarctica was the entrance of the portal? I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
Antarctica has a different portal to enter into a
There we
different
go.
realm. To where
Hey!
we go back to the Stone Age.
Nailed
The
it.
Stone Age. What if when we go to heaven, we go to a cool
So I'm
place,
watching this sort of thing.
but when we go into hell, it is hot. It is hot.
Heaven is
We
cold.
repeat history back
Hell
in
is hot.
time
Okay.
versus to setting up to space where we become the future.
What?
What if time is a lie?
What if time is a lie? How about that?
The little web of lies is time.
Time is an illusion.
What is it that they're really hiding from us? Wow, right?
Okay, let's ask that
Wow.
question to Lemon Bird.
Yeah,
What are they lying to? What are they hiding from us? What is it that they're really hiding from us, Lemon? That's the question she asked.
Land, land from bad maps in the north and south. I guess we'd have to go into the earth to see if there's some hollowness there. I'd probably go with something hollow underneath the flat surface. I guess they're hiding that from us.
Well, I mean, there are caves and stuff, so there are places in the surface of the earth, under the surface of the earth.
I hear they have
A hollow
underground
earth, maybe.
cities. Yeah, I
Oh,
hear they
really?
find underground cities and stuff like that. So it's not too much of a stretch.
I mean, but in the sense of hollow, I guess you're thinking like the entirety of the inside of the earth is one big open area. That's not what we're saying.
I think hell's in the heart of the earth, but I think there's a couple sections you can go to down there. Underground seas, caverns. Underneath it all is probably the pillars of the earth and a watery deep if you go with the biblical cosmology. But who knows?
All right, I got a shout out to the frogs. Look, I see la rana, the frog. Coincidence? Who knows? I'm into something because I see a frog here. All right, we got a few more minutes to go. Here we go.
Where do angels really go?
Hang on, it's a different set of cards now.
And why are they hiding this from us? Why do we need? Why do people get so bothered when we believe that the world is flat?
Because it isn't.
You know, because looking at this picture,
I don't know.
if the world was flat, right? Let's say, assume the world really is flat, and they tell us it's round. But really, what we're doing, you know, let's say going in circles, right? We're going in circles like this, right?
Okay, you're gonna explain.
But if I were to move this like that, right, and it's up like this, okay, on top of the cup, it's on top of the cup, right? And really, the way that we're moving, okay, on top of the cup, we're really moving like this around the rim. Like, doesn't this look? Let's say this is the inside of the cup, right? And really, we're just moving around the cup, like.
How about that, Lemon? She making more sense now?
Makes sense to me. The cup is probably, the central North Pole with rivers flowing from it.
Lemon, what would the cup be sitting on?
On the land. If you think of Eden as this huge mountain with rivers flowing from it, it looks like a mountain. That's the reports that people said when they went up north to try to find Eden, the fountain of Eden. I'm sorry, the fountain of youth. When they went up north, they found a mountain that was sheer, unscalable, with a bunch of water running down it.
No, they didn't.
Then what would the land be attached to? Would it just be infinite, go off infinitely in all directions?
Old maps have Mount Meru in the north. Old maps have this mountain in the north called Mount Meru with 4 rivers running from it. Perhaps that's what they're talking about. The fountain that used to be there may still be there.
But that was guesswork because none of them had actually been there. They was all just pretending because there isn't any land there.
You should read the book Paradise Found. It talks about the various excursions.
I couldn't give a fuck about people playing Let's Pretend. There is no land at the North Pole.
You know what? Let's do something. Let's finish listening. I'm going to do one more stop over here, and then we'll finish it up because it's interesting. I don't know. It's funny. It's funny to hear this. This a new person never heard before, and she with tarot cards. She's telling us a bunch of truths, right, Lemon? That's the way you see it. Truths and possibilities.
Well, when you have the unknown, the loving thing to do is to prepare the mind to one day accept the truth. And so, you got to give people, stories, tales, dreams, things that massage the mind and get it ready for the truth that one day they will find.
All right.
Yeah,
there we go.
Fine when you actually go out and leave your apartment and stop doing drugs.
All right, let me play this a little bit. Hold on, let me answer. Chris Matt is asking me, was I on Bev last night? I think I was for a little bit. Yeah, I was, Chris Matt. I went there for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Did you troll responsibly?
I trolled responsibly, and then when they did not troll responsibly, I left. I tried to make a point, a fair point, and yeah, they just kept interrupting me. I said, yep. Thanks for the invite, but I'm not gonna deal with this shit. I left, very nicely. All right, let's hear this. Let's continue this one.
The rim. Also, like, do you guys notice with the cup? There's people that can actually make noises through the cup by touching the glass, going like that, and it makes certain noises.
But
the vibrations of the earth will tell us. Yeah. Because they say if you go to Alaska, you can see what is it called, the Alaskan skies. Okay, they say. That if you listen to the Alaskan skies, to the music to it, that it can actually make your hair turn gray. Did you know that? I also hear the grays.
The Alaskan sky, you got something that makes your hair turn gray, she said.
It's warp of time. It hypnotizes you into a different realm. Why is it that it pisses people off to believe that the world is flat? Why? Why are we being forced to believe it's round with the Wheel of Fortune?
Oh.
Is it really that serious to hurt us, to shut us down? Because what if it's flat is just
Because you're
a
alluding.
warp inside
It's
that takes us into a different realm.
Whoa.
Why do I see a lot of
Leave your
circles?
apartment. Get
Is
out of the house.
world
Leave your
really
apartment.
round? But look, it's flat. It just looks round. Like I said, the icebergs, that's how they look. They look like this, a sea.
Do the
So it
nurses
made
know
it
she's
look
on the
like,
internet?
you know, it will make it look with pictures that the world is round. When really, if you were to stand in the middle, you can see that, oh my gosh, it looks like a closed off, like that. That's how it was.
Uh-oh. She's telling us.
Why would it bother? Do you know in the encyclopedia, I think before 1968 or something like that,
Okay.
that it used to tell us that the world was flat?
She had proof, sis.
Show me the encyclopedia
Why
that tells us that, love.
Why are they?
Go
What
on.
are they trying to hide from
Wait.
us?
Let me hear that. What did she say? That
would
what?
it bother? Do you know in the encyclopedia, I think before 1968 or something like that, that it used to tell us that the world was flat?
What?
Yeah.
Have you heard that, Lemon? Before 1968 encyclopedia used to say that the world was flat. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But there's one from
Remember for that one.
1958 that says there's a dome at 15,000 feet by Antarctica, but the Globers
Yeah.
count that.
Right.
Oh,
But
it's a
that's an ice
dome
dome.
of a geographic land or something like that. I think that's what she's talking
No,
about.
there are but maybe I know she might be confused, but there are mention of the domes, and that's addressed as for today. There are places that are the domes segments on Antarctica. There's
They
different
have,
domes.
they're called ice domes.
Yeah.
They're things.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about when they said there are domes in Antarctica. They're on about ice domes.
Yeah.
A geological feature.
Yeah, but I mean, I know she's new. She's kind of, I mean, the way she sounds, she's just entertain a lot of, a lot of side, a lot of other stuff. But this proof that the Earth is flat in encyclopedia, nah, she's confused.
Well, when you believe your senses and what they're telling you, your mind sings with cognitive resonance. You realize that for years, your mind has been split, compartmentalized, in a cognitively dissonant song by seeing flat horizons and being forced by, academe to say that it's a ball.
Come on.
Oh dear.
If you're small enough, standing on a sphere, it's gonna look flat.
Hey, we're gonna finish this up. It's gonna be like a minute or something. Yep. Because
What are they trying to hide from us that will get us killed and have us being called crazy for saying something that they said it was true a long time ago? And why are the Russians having so much interest in there? What's in, and why is it that the Alaskan skies, they say if you listen to the air, if you listen to it, it speaks a voice. You can hear a noise. And listen to me. Listen to me.
Oh, there she is. Hey, she's a real person. Shout out to you, tarot card reader. Boom.
Leave your apartment. Get out of the house.
Oh, she got demonstration there.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
With a wine glass.
No, I can't hear it.
No, she won't get any noise out of that.
Oh, rubbing the nail inside. Yeah.
Where is it sucking us to?
Oh.
And look how fast it goes.
Oh,
doesn't it start to look like everything is round?
I don't know. Is this turned into some sex
going in circles?
Yeah.
Looking at it like this, right?
She's jacking off that cope or something.
You would say that the world is round, right?
That was a very well practiced motion, I have to say.
But in all reality,
sorry,
it's really like this.
That
noise that's coming from the Alaska sky into the core of
Lemon
the
chili good. Oh man, I don't know if I should watch this. I'm sweating here.
Oh my
god!
Oh my god! What's going on?
I don't even know where I'm getting at with this.
She's cracking up too.
But why is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Why is it dangerous?
She's just putting her legs. I mean, for something else.
Is she wearing somebody else's?
Let it marinate for a while.
That's what doesn't seem to fit very well.
Oh man! Hey, shout out to her, man. Look, she's awesome. I'm gonna clap to that.
Well done, Jose.
She's awesome. I'm gonna share the link. So she got the she got the comments turned off. Maybe because I don't know.
Of course.
But yeah, she's cool. She's fun content creator. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Lemon, what's up with us with the daddy mind?
Happy ending.
Yeah, that's the ending. Yeah, that's a happy ending. She's laughing. She's satisfied now. I wish she'd be too.
What are you on about, dirty mind? I ain't got a faintest idea what you're talking about here.
Oh, that's funny. That's good shit.
Dear. Bless her
I
heart.
shared the link to this video over there on YouTube. Give her some share the love. Give her some love, man. She's got a bunch. I just click on that. There's a bunch of videos of her shorts and stuff. Look at that. Yeah. She's a hottie. I mean, yeah, she's a easy on the eyes person. Yeah.
She's
Different,
beautiful
special.
inside
She's
and
special. Yes, she's special.
Well, it's about inside. I mean, I'm not advocating surgery. I couldn't tell you how beautiful she is on the inside.
Oh man.
when truth comes in, beauty comes out, gentlemen. That's why the cognitively resonant flat earth is so important.
Oh, I see. So we've switched slogans today. It's cognitively. What was it again? Cognitively what?
Resonant, as opposed to
cognitively resonant.
Yes.
I see. Rather than what was that? What was that chunk of V speech that you were quoting all last week?
Well, cognitive dissonance makes your mind sing a dirge, a song that is discordant, jangled, and nobody can dance to the beat. But with cognitive resonance, it's like your mind is a song that sings, and other people can hear it too, and be like, "What's that melody? What is that?"
What a load of bollocks!
What is the difference between a...
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, guys, we're getting into a more serious. That was some kind of something lighthearted and fun to shake the webs out of today's. That was fun. Thank you to that beautiful young lady for putting that video up, and I cut it and shared that with love. Now we go into the more serious issues over here because we got a 1 minute and 4 seconds video by Sean Hawkins, and he's interested in us to play this. I don't know what it is, but the title is the Ignorance of Nathan Oakley and Brian's Logic. Lemon Bird, your BFF's video is about to play now.
Ooh.
What is the difference between a right angle and a right angle triangle? I want them to define the actual difference between the two of those.
Oh dear. Right.
That's unbelievable.
He has a question. Okay, let's see his question.
What is the difference between a right angle and a right angle triangle?
That's the question. What is the difference between a right angle and a right angle triangle?
Well, the clues are in the words used. I would have thought.
Define the actual difference between the two of those.
One has one more line.
One's a triangle. The other one isn't.
Well, you could put 4 right triangles in a circle: 90, 180, 270, 360.
What?
Yeah,
how angle. Get a circle out of that?
Angle.
How'd you
get 4 right angles in a circle? I'm sorry. Did I say triangle?
Yeah. I know it was a mistake.
In the brain.
4 right angles will make you a square.
It was a mistake.
If you put them in the middle, centered at the center of the circle, you got 4 right triangles.
And
you know what? This is a minute. Let's hear the whole thing, and then we'll check it out.
That's unbelievable.
Brian's on it. Do a show on that.
Well, I have a triangular tool. Listen, I have a triangular tool and an L-shaped tool, and they're both called squares.
Brian did a show on it. He showed that if you do that, you have diverging zeniths, and you would be lost all day long.
Doesn't know what a square is.
Hold on. How can it be a square if it's only got 2 sides? Obviously, it's not a square.
Oh no, the word square's got more than one meaning.
Oh
Fuck.
my.
Fuck. Oh no.
And the 2 ends of the square, in name only, aren't linked together.
That's Nathan for you guys.
So you can't call it a triangle.
There you go.
Wow.
Dear sweet flattery Jesus. Nathan's dumb. Shout out to John Hoggin. Thank you, man, for putting the video up. That was good.
And they say these things out loud for the world to hear with no shame, no irony, no anything. They seem completely unconcerned that they're just saying this shit.
Good times, good times. All right, now that we have a bigger audience, we got 49 people watching. It says 5 down here. I haven't read it. Should be 40 plus people watching. Thank you all. Hit the like, share the show, support. There's a bunch of links. Can you support? And thank you for being valuable members and participants on this channel and Discord. We have over here Chaik Komar, Dugari Mangary, Curtis Live, Farmer's Boy, Fred, J-Mac, 56, and the other Merle, and myself, Flip Flop. I mean, Jose J.G. Gary. Boom.
Wow, so it can't be a square because it's not got 4 sides that makes it a square.
4 sides, each 90 degrees.
But we call it a square because it's used for squaring things up.
We try to get like perpendicular lines for a square, each 90 degrees. That's what we try to do.
So you completely missed the point of how stupid Nathan was being then, Lemon.
We all get a little loopy sometimes.
Can we get a triangle in top of a sphere? Can we draw a triangle on the surface of a sphere, Lemon?
Not with the curve. You'd have to go through the sphere to get a straight line. Otherwise, you'd have to bend the triangle.
Yeah, exactly. But on the surface of the sphere, you can draw a triangle. It will be curved, yes, but it will be a triangle. No, nonetheless, you know.
Triangles don't have to have 3 straight lines. They just have to have 3 sides. And you can draw that on a sphere.
Well, if you could draw a triangle. Well, if you could draw a triangle with curved, sides, I mean, how do you know what angle's between them? You'd have to have curved sides intersecting and somehow get some sort of angle from the curves intersecting. It's going to be a little bit of a problem.
Well, you can draw a triangle on the sphere, and each of those 3 angles can be 90 degrees. Still a triangle.
I guess.
It is. But the sum of the 3 angles is more than 180 degrees.
So could you have a triangle with 360 degrees? Because I thought that would make a circle.
You said it's 270 in this case.
Yes, if you've got 3 90-degree angles in your triangle, that's 270 degrees. Because treble 9 is still 27.
Because that would lead to like what, Pac-Man Earth, where you're going 270 degrees from 0 to 270, and it looks like almost a circle with a little mouth. It would be like Pac-Man Earth at that point if you had to line up the 3 figures next to each other to get 270. It's a lot to wrap your mind around.
Well, not really. Picture this: you're stood at the North Pole. You head due south, and you carry on due south in a straight line until you hit the equator. You then turn left and travel due east exactly the same distance that you just travelled. You then turn left again and go due north. And when you travel exactly the same distance again, you will be back at the North Pole. You have just transcribed a triangular route on the surface of the Earth. You've just moved in a triangle. But each of those 3 angles will be 90 degrees.
Well, the only way to do that on a flat plane, I guess you'd have 2 sides that are equal and a curve that isn't, but you'd have to go down a line of longitude from the North Pole.
You can't have a triangle with 3 90-degree corners on a flat surface.
Let's look at the image that I'm sharing over here. I know you guys still seeing it. Earth is live, dude. You seen a big like exercise ball type of thing. Here's him drawing it. Well, thank you, man, for sharing that. I like that visual stuff. So that's a triangle.
This is a triangle on a globe, you say?
I also did one where I actually measured it too.
Because the way that they draw these triangles is they go along lines of latitude and longitude. You'd have to make sure that you have a line of latitude or longitude for your triangle, assuming those things have any sort of real life basis. But if you're talking about going along lines of latitude and longitude to give you 90 degrees on a flat surface, you just go down 2 lines of longitude and then curve at the line of latitude, and there you go.
A spherical triangle does not require any of its sides to be a line of latitude or a line of longitude.
Just a
Then
straight
how
line.
do you know that they're straight?
Oh,
Just a straight line on a curved surface.
Yeah, you're not turning left or right.
But he could have done some sort of weird curve that's a little off. The straightest lines that a
No, it's a
circle can
straight
offer
line.
appear to be lines of latitude and or longitude.
You do realise
I
that,
use
that,
the
that
rule.
lat and long lines don't actually exist.
Yeah, but they still
This is
cover
the
the
rule.
straightest distances or the straightest direction we can afford on a sphere, as far as I can tell.
Actually,
very
what's
close to-
more interesting is that a spherical triangle doesn't ever include a line of latitude unless it happens to be the equator. So that's interesting.
I'm very close to latitude 32, and I never noticed no line here.
No, it don't take me long to get on the 0 longitude because I'm not that far off Greenwich, and there is no magical line that I can see either on the ground or in the air.
There's those little markers, though.
Shush, shush. Don't ruin it. Yeah, and there are, of course, ultimately there are an infinite number of lines of longitude and latitude.
Well, so much of this is conceptual, which is fine, but we
It's
need to
not.
see if the conception matches the reality.
It does. That's the problem that you've got. It does. It does match reality.
As far as I can see, the flat Earth matches the flat plane that we see.
Well, you don't
We
see
have
a
to
flat
go
plane.
to barrel distorting lenses or NASA
No,
CGI to see otherwise.
whatever. It was tiring yesterday.
But lines of latitude and longitude would simply be like spokes on a bike wheel. The North Pole would be the central hub, and latitude would be basically concentric circles around that central hub. And longitude would be straight line spokes radiating out from that hub on something flat anyway.
Okay, so where's the South Pole?
The South Pole would be a south ring.
But it's not. We know
That's
it's
what
not.
it appears to be by Robotham and others. They say we're clocking too much land
Are you
south of the
still
equator.
quoting Robotham, who was a fucking liar back in the 19th century?
Yeah, let's try to avoid that.
1890. Yeah, whatever it was.
How about this drawing? Is this drawing good? A, B, and
That's
C.
cool.
I mean, yeah, this is cool.
There you go. There's a triangle on the curved surface. I mean, that's a triangle because it's got 3 vertices, 3 sides.
Are we talking about that 90-90-90 triangle, though?
I don't know whether that is actually a 90-90. It doesn't look like it because it's.
Doesn't look like it.
Mm.
There's one in here. I got one. It is 90-90-50. There you go.
Yeah, again, impossible on the flat surface.
90,
you
50.
can't have a triangle with those 3 angles on the 2D plane.
Well, what are we talking about? Like 50 degrees of longitude, which would be, just on a ball or a flat surface.
No, it doesn't, it's just 50 degrees.
Of longitude.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's on lines of longitude or not. It's got 3 angles, 2 of which are right angles at 90 degrees, and the third one, as you can see, is 50 degrees. Now, you can draw that on a sphere. You cannot draw that on the flat surface.
Well, we've changed the definition of how a triangle is drawn. Instead of being straight lines, which would be planar, with no more than 180 degrees, we've stretched them now over a ball. So we've changed the definition, and now we're going to have equivocation. It is what it is.
But look at this. This one from this point of view, right now in the center. Let's say it's a little off, but this is a straight. This is a straight line, and if we orientate the globe that we are facing this line, this will be a straight line also. It's just over a surface, over a curved surface.
Well, you're
Right,
heading 90 degrees because you're turning along a line of longitude. So definitionally, that's just going to be along a line of longitude. And if you translate that to a flat surface, you just go on the straight spoke of the bike wheel.
If we're dealing exclusively with the surface of a sphere, we tend to do spherical geometry on that surface. So we would call these spherical triangles if we wanted to be super specific. But on the surface of a sphere and in spherical geometry, we would call a straight line also a great circle. So in a spherical triangle, the three sides are segments of a great circle.
Wouldn't it also be called
circle? Was that
straight line on a curved surface would be a geodesic?
Yep.
I guess on a flat surface, the great circle would simply be the circle of equatorial latitude, or any line of longitude of a similar length.
Yeah, we're not that specific on a sphere. We can have it not be a line of latitude or longitude and it still be a great circle.
Yep.
You just have to go up length of distance on the flat surface that's equal to the supposed circle of equatorial circumference.
You would have a translated circle, which wouldn't be equivalent to anything on the globe.
So I guess as long as we have a distance of 24,901 miles this way, that way, or whatever, that would technically be a great circle distance at the very least.
This one will be the one line will be in, this one will be in the equator, the one line, the example you were giving, but doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It could be any orientation whatsoever.
You could just take 3 cities on Earth and draw a triangle between draw a straight line between each city and make a triangle. I mean, and we know that, and the cool thing is that we know the distance between each city on Earth.
Well, if you're trying to get a circle of, latitude on a ball, you basically take 24,901, 24,000, basically, and then you multiply it times your degree of latitude, or the cosine, rather, of your degree of latitude. That'll make it go down from 24,901 towards 0 and taper down from the equator toward the poles.
Yeah, well, we don't even need latitude. We're just talking about the distance between cities and a triangle between all those cities. That'll be that the angle between those would make more than 180 degrees. Very simple.
Because normally when we're talking about, angles, we're talking about, pi slices of a circle. So, normally we made triangles as pi slices of a circle, 360 pi slices for, 1 degree each pi slice. So if we have this, pi slice of round Earth that's bigger than the 360-degree pi, well, then we're just kind of changing the definition. You no longer have triangles that are within the same circular pi slice for 360. You're kind of changing the rules at that point. If you cut a circle into 4 pi slices, each of them are going to be 90. If you cut it into 2, each of them are going to be 180, but only if you stay within that pi slice of circle. If you break the rules by trying to draw it on a non-planar sphere, then your rules are going to be potentially all over the place.
I got a request from the audience. If you got any citation for your definition on triangle.
Who said triangle? Oh, whether or not it's part of a circle. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't have to cite my logic and my thinking.
You tell them, women. You tell them. Don't question my beliefs. Damn it.
How about this? Yeah. Is this a good graph for the math on this, like a 3D side view type of thing?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Looks like a pie slice to me.
Pie slices.
And the thing that's so ironic about it is, to make this sphere with the spherical surface geometry, what did we have to do? We had to use a straight line radius to even begin to get that sphere. You take the radius and multiply it roughly by 6, and you get the circumference of the circle. When you multiply it times 2 pi, or 2 times 3.14, 2 times 3 is roughly 6. So you get a good enough approximation of the circumference to the radius by multiplying the radius roughly by 6.
Okay, but not 6.3. Wouldn't we want that extra accuracy?
To simplify it enough for thinking, it's good enough for now.
Well, you can't multiply 3.14 by 2.
Close enough.
No.
Good times. The audience, if you got any question, comment, concerns, or responsible trolling comments, hit me up on Super Chat or PayPal and we'll read those. Wink. Oh, I did a wink, but my camera is off. That didn't work.
You gotta love those silent winks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this math, nothing, but I know just by logic and just normal thinking, when people say like you cannot have a triangle on a sphere, like why? I draw any type of ball. I grab an orange and I can grab a rubber band. Look at that. We got fruits. We got rubber bands. I put 3 little thumbtacks in 3 points of the orange, and I pull this little rubber band or a watermelon, and I'll have a triangle right there. So I'll put the thumbtacks or something to hold it, but that will be a triangle on the surface. It will be a physical, and it can be measured. The angles can be measured. It is possible.
Oh, look, you got super chat.
Whoa, super chat, big tenor by Mr. Victorious Radio. Thank you, sir. A line on globe is the connection of 2 points. It can be curved. The line is a reference. A concept for measurement and navigation. A triangle is the connection of 3 points on a spheroid. Thank you so much. Yeah, the example. What about that example? I grab a watermelon, a big, or whatever, an orange. I put 3 thumbtacks. I put a tiny rubber band, and I pull it around, and I just hold it with the 3 thumbtacks. Is that a triangle on a spherical object like an orange?
I guess so.
It is.
It fulfills all the requirements for it to be a triangle.
Does it have 3 angles?
It does, because
We need triangle.
Yeah. There'll be a triangle on the surface of a spherical-ish object.
I mean, the clue is in the name. Tri. That's a 3. Angle. 3 angles. Oh, look, it's a triangle. Oh.
I was literally about to say exactly the same thing. The same way as a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points on a surface.
On a surface, yes.
Well,
surface.
Well, that's because we are intrinsically, in the mind of several people, the same person, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair, Lemon, to specify what is the fastest route between 2 points, the fastest way to get from one point to another? Do you think it should be specified if it's in free air, in the air, or if it's over a surface? Because over a surface, you cannot cut through the surface. So is that fair to specify which way?
I guess that's fair. I mean, the shortest distance would still be going in a chord through the earth, but for practical purposes, that's, not quite an issue. But I guess conceptually it becomes a bit of a nightmare, because you might have a 90-90-90 triangle on one side of the sphere, but if you take those same 3 points and stretch them all the way to the other side of the sphere to the point where, say, they're only within like a foot of each other, each of these 3 points, well, now you have a quote unquote triangle that's effectively wrapped totally around the sphere like a bag covering. So I think conceptually people think that this could be a nightmare if 3 points make this triangle and you just go in the other direction by extending this 90-90-90 triangle all the way to the other side of the sphere like a bag. To the point where they're nearly touching, and I guess somehow still have a triangle just in the inverse relationship. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you could have an equilateral triangle on a sphere that's, say, 63 degrees by 63 degrees by 63 degrees.
I guess potentially, but it's a bit of a pickle.
And a straight line is still the shortest distance between 2 points on a lemon? On
on any surface?
Yay.
You sound different today, Stingray.
Oh, I should speak a bit more like this. So Lemon, I just want to show you this in I think you'll get this. Well, I think, but I can show. Can I
I've
share my
got
screen,
something
Jose?
to show you.
Sorry,
Hang about.
When I say
It's a little bit tricky, right? To to mimic
That's actually
that.
a better Stingray accent than mine.
It's tricky. To mimic a scholar voice, a voice of a scholar like Stingray is hard.
Oh dear.
Brain tracing and 3D modeling.
I want you to try and do Brian's Irish accent.
Yeah. Shout out to Stingray, man. You're the man.
He is indeed the man. Oh dear.
So yeah, there's a lot of arguments about this spherical triangles on the surface of a sphere, and I don't see any issue with it. Whatsoever.
We all know how that certain group of people feel about spherical geometry and how they feel.
Yes, they pretend it doesn't exist.
I'm still waiting for Bev to answer. Sorry, Godfrey.
No, you were saying.
I'm still waiting for Bev to reply to my challenge that the shortest distance between 2 points
is a
straight line on any surface.
Yeah, to Lemon, to be fair, right? I mean, spherical geometry, what's wrong with it? I mean, let's disconnect the argument of that means that the Earth is a sphere. Let's disconnect that. Spherical geometry is a thing because there's a lot of spherical structures and things and the world and the real life. Spherical trigonometry and geometry is necessary in order to work for those. So it is a fact on real life. Did you agree with that statement? Well, I'm not talking about the shape of the Earth in this.
Well, we still use straight lines to make this a spherical figure. So we still have to appeal to the best standard that helps us think clearly and consistently about these concepts, especially when we're trying to determine if the Earth is spherical or something planar and flat.
I think the answer is no. He cannot disconnect it from the globe.
Well, even the sphere that you're talking about needs a straight line radius. So why the heck are we trying to deal only with curves on the surface? How do we know that we're not just going in a curved path on, say, a flat surface, like in a circumferential flat circle? We would need some sort of strict standard.
Hold on, I'm talking like structural infrastructure on the Earth, bridges and curved, big, totems and shit that are built on Earth. There are a lot of spherical things that need the geometry, that needs math and geometry in order for it to be built and worked on. That is a fact.
Well, the only way to determine that for the Earth, though, is with a flat, straight standard. Otherwise, it's kind of like we're twisting and mangling our minds around a sphere that may not be there. We should have, some, pretty rigid straight line standards to help at least see if the land is deviating from that straight standard, like a straight laser or something like that.
Oh dear. Lasers again.
I gotta throw this big shout out to Truth Nurse, who just became a channel member. He is now a smart, responsible troll. Truth Nerds, thank you so much for your support, brother. Appreciate it a lot, man. Health to the yeah. Boom. Do you want to become a real responsible troll, Lemonbird? For as low as $2.99, you will have a badge next to your name. It's a Squeaky Earth badge, and you're gonna have some special custom emojis to use in the chat box, and your title will be Responsible Troll. For only $2.99 a month. How about that?
That sounds like a steal.
Hell yeah. Shout out to everybody who is members already.
It's a deal. It's a steal. It's a sale of the fucking century.
Boom.
If anybody
But I
remembers
guess we're
Lockstock.
trying to use the best standards that don't mangle the mind as much. We still need a straight line standard to even make this sphere. So let's just use straight line standards as much as possible anyway.
Yeah, that straight line standard has been used and spherical excess has been measured and documented.
I think the spherical excess that they're talking about is simply disappeared angle and length from diffraction limit and perspective over a flat surface.
But always conveniently in one direction inside the triangle.
Well, most stuff would vanish into the surface, even on a flat surface, if you get too close to said surface. If you want to have a symmetrical visual representation, gentlemen, where the top and bottom half of your visual scene are evenly represented to the eye of the camera, you have to have enough room off of the surface. You have to be high enough in elevation. Otherwise, the bottom half of your visual scene turns into a line very quickly if you're too close to the ground, while the top half of your visual scene expands exponentially with no barrier in the way.
The measurements that were being discussed briefly there is lateral measurements, not vertical measurements. So it's not disappearing into the horizon. And each of the observation points are elevated such that they have a line of sight to each of the points that they're measuring.
When something gets further away from you with these lateral measurements, be it, a building, the sky, whatever, you're still going to have the same thing, horizontal, vertical, or whatever. The sun goes over us over a flat plane and appears to disappear into the horizon, even though it rotates over us with a lateral component and up-down component. Eventually, it will merge into the surface, and angle will be lost. Length will be lost because we can't see it anymore. It's still there. We just can't make it out and measure it anymore. It's still there. We just lost the angle.
But at each of the 3 points, you would have to have an overage caused. If you're looking at the left point, it would have to be an overage to the left. Somehow your angle disappeared on the left side. And the right point that you're measuring also has to have an overage that's further to the right. So it's conveniently either to the left or to the right of the thing that you're measuring. And just so, it's a just so story, Lemon.
I need to find the quote by Riemann. I think he said something like the spherical excess that we supposedly see is no different than the error that we get when we try to, square triangles. Or he used some special language to basically say, we're trying to make these triangles work, and some of the angle is just being lost. And it's not necessarily
Lemon, I have a
here, as far as I could tell by that quote.
But you think there's more excess, not less?
To make these triangles work out in a perfect geometric 180-degree fashion when vision isn't like that. It's just not.
Lemon, I have a question though. Like, let's say we're trying to take an elevation angle to the sun at sunset, right as the sun is touching the horizon. How would that work if the sun is supposedly 3,000 or 4,000 or 10,000 miles above the Earth, and we're getting an elevation angle of, I don't know, 1 degree above the horizon?
Well, we have that special trig relationship that you're talking about, where essentially we're trying to say in a perfect geometric situation, the height of the object divided by the distance to the object equals the tangent of the angle to the object. But that's only in idealized math, where you have triangles made of units that are preserved throughout the counting process. In real life, with what we see isn't like that. It's just not.
I wonder how far that trig would say that sun would have to be to actually hit the horizon due to perspective.
But that only counts, gentlemen, if it's centered in your vision, with half of it above and below the level of the eyes, where you don't have these compressed viewing angles over a flat surface from being too dang close to the ground, the wall, or the ceiling. This is an idealized math relationship, gentlemen, that ignores the fact that we're only 6 feet tall. Our visual scene is not cut evenly from that point.
But what does that idealized math tell us how far away that sun would have to be to hit the horizon if it's 3,500 miles above the surface?
I need to go after Lemon. Lemon, go ahead.
Well, we have calculators. You'd put in the height of the object divided by the distance to the object to get a number. That would equal the tangent to the angle up to the object, or you'd have to use the inverse tangent to take that number to get an angle. So we have calculators. We could get what the idealized math relationship would be, but in vision, unlike with math with its idealized units, things are merging, converging, and disappearing, and the angle that we'd like to idealize is losing information fast, losing length fast.
All right. I needed to read this It's a comment, a thought, an observation by RT96 with $5. Thank you, RT. If you simply insert the phrase, quote unquote, over a flat plane, at least once in every other sentence fragment, this proves that the earth is flat. Do you kind of throw that over a flat plane every once in a while, Lemon, to kind of, agree to, so your brain don't get rewired some other way?
Well, we have 500 years of globe conditioning to undo from the masses. It takes time for people to change, especially when they get comfortable with the falsehood. So some reconditioning will be necessary, verbally and otherwise.
Yeah. I have one more comment, and then Earth is live. I know you wanted to ask a question.
No,
about the
I'm
point.
good.
Yeah, but
I'm
all right.
good.
But let me make this
ahead.
point then if anybody needs to. This comment by Truth Nerds, we just need to read it. He's the newer member, and he says, basically what Lemon say was, unquote, the sun seems to behave like we're on a globe, even though it's actually behaving as we expect on the flat Earth. What the fuck? How much more cognitive dissonance can you have? What are your thoughts on that comment, Lemon?
Well, we see similar activity looking down a hallway. We know the hallway is flat, and it looks like everything is approaching the level of the eyes. And not just that, the ceiling appears to be getting to the point where it's going to merge with the floor. And so one would assume a line would form at the level of the eyes. The sun would be a light in that ceiling if it keeps a constant elevation like the floor of that hallway does. And so there's a lot of cognitive resonance by making the two phenomena similar. And we see a flat horizon, no curve. So I see no problem here, gentlemen.
Well, on my floor, nothing disappears.
Very low microphone, whoever say that.
Also, people have demonstrated the phenomenon. I don't even just have to have faith in my senses anymore, although I was a glober and willing to put my senses to the side for whatever the globe dictated. We got people getting close to the wall, the ceiling, the floor, and showing something in the distance disappearing bottom up while the surface appears to ramp up toward the object as if you're still above the surface. As we know, if you're above any sort of surface and it keeps constant elevation, it still appears to ramp up toward the level of the eyes. So that's good enough for me.
Shout out to Mr. Victory for creating this GIF on Lemon Bird's hallway perspective.
Yeah. You're 6 feet tall. You're like a 6 foot pole with your 6 foot zone of vision. And a 6 foot pole vanishes to a vanishing point just like your 6 foot zone of vision would. Very cognitively resonant and very concordant with what we already accept. We've already accepted that 6 feet objects disappear. It's not too cognitively dissonant to say that a 6 foot zone of visual space, air, whatever, would disappear along with the objects within it.
Okay, I thought when you said whatever, I thought you were done. Sorry. So when I tried it in my hallway, and I couldn't get anything to disappear bottom up unless I put the camera halfway below the floor, because I have steps. I can do that on my floor. Otherwise,
how far did you go?
Nothing disappears on my. It was 10 meters, 33 feet. It's pretty far.
After you guys, I'm gonna let you guys trying to figure this out, but I got a paradox I gotta throw in here about the hallway. Go ahead, guys.
Get further. How tall was the object you were trying to look at?
I was using a ruler, a vertical ruler. So the only way I could make things start disappearing from the bottom up was if I placed the center of the lens of the camera slightly below the floor, the level of the floor. I can do that because I have steps going up to the floor.
Interesting.
The only way I could get anything to disappear from bottom up, and that means it's being obstructed by the edge of the floor, just like the coin on the table trick, which is just a trick.
Well, did you see any of the inch markings disappear? Did you use a camera to zoom in? Did it disappear to your eyes versus what it looks like to the camera?
Yeah, I zoomed in, and you can't you can't zoom something back in. What What? Well, in this case, you can because it focuses past it. That's what happens.
So it would probably look smushed to your eyes, but if you used a good enough zoom and you're not past the resolving power of the zoom, you could bring some of the stuff back. But to your eyes, one would assume that a ruler would have started converging, especially if you take it far and far and far away from the eyes.
Okay, I gotta throw this comment, this paradox. Lemon, listen to this. I just read this and it actually made sense. It resonated with me. John Rapp brought this point. Looking down a hallway, my head is closer to the ceiling. My eyes are closer to the ceiling. So why doesn't the door at the end disappear top first? I see this as a paradox, like going against everything you've been saying, because you're in the hallway and the bottom, this and that, but my eyes are actually closer to the ceiling than the floor. Why is in the door disappearing top bottom at the end of the hallway?
Your eye appears to like symmetry. So if you're 6 feet up from the floor, you're going to have insurance, I guess, visually, or coverage, if you will. 6 feet up and down from the level of the eyes for nice symmetrical coverage. The door's within that range, so you're good. If you want to see a door disappear, what did you say, top first? You're going to have to get close to the ceiling, sure. But the door will now have to sink into the ground, and you're going to need to see it go beyond the symmetrical coverage, up and down from the level of the eyes relative to the limiting surface, the ceiling in this case. So I guess you'd have to be, 3 feet from the ceiling, sure.
There are,
but
exactly.
the door is going to need to tower into the ground past your 6 feet, 3 feet zone.
Do you have 12 feet tall doors? What do you mean symmetric?
Hold on, let me, Gary,
Symmetric means even.
Hold on,
even.
Gary, I unmuted you, Gary, but you had miking a little bit. If you want to mute on your end, if you're listening. Oh, when you're ready, just let us know. Yeah, I had to sort of mute him because he's going to be doing a lot of background noise.
So, gentlemen, to see something disappear bottom first, the general thing is being halfway or lower from the object, lower than the halfway point of the object, close to the limiting surface that the object is sticking out of, generally.
Yeah, what you're being asked is being closer to the limiting surface above, not below. Lemon, focus.
Gary, you got a hot mic. You got a mute.
You got something squeaky.
Well, I'm going to have to server mute you. Damn it. Go ahead.
So the general principle elucidated by Raichi 50s and other people, and Life is Short and others, is that basically you're disappearing, or the object's disappearing into the floor because you're too close to the limiting object, not because there's a hump in the way, a hump of Earth curve.
Yeah, but he was talking about the ceiling. If he's close to the ceiling, how come the door isn't seeping into the ceiling?
I guess I'd have to see the door go away in the distance to see what he's talking about. I guess the general principle would be, I guess, how tall you are above the floor or the ceiling.
Yeah, you actually use the example. Sometimes you say, if you are in a long hallway, you have telling these words, or I mean, rephrasing a little bit. If you are in a very long hallway, you are going to see and the floor appear to ramp up and the ceiling down and the walls going to close and the door is going to, at the end, if you got a door, it's going to start disappearing bottom up. I have heard you making these statements, but in this case, I am 6 foot tall. Let's say yes, me, or 5 foot tall, and then the ceiling is 8 foot total. So from the ceiling to my eyes is a few feet, 3 feet, and then from my eyes down is almost 6 feet. I mean, so I got a bigger distance from the floor to my eyes than from my eyes to the ceiling. It should, at the end, then by your logic, disappear from the top down.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to take this door away and see what happens. We're just talking about the concept now. We need to see what actually occurs, but Life is Short and others have demonstrated stuff disappearing into the floor simply by getting close to it, and the principle appears to be pretty sound.
But wouldn't the same thing happen if you're close to the ceiling?
One would expect. Life is Short did floor and ceiling observations showing a relative zone of compression relative to your height
I have a
above the
question
limiting object.
but I have a question about Life is Short. Remember we had a discussion about knowing whether or not the floor was perfectly level,
Most people assume that the floor
should I
is
say,
level if stuff's not rolling off of it.
or should I say perfectly flat? How did he determine that the surface he was working on was perfectly flat?
Most people would practically assume that's the case, since if the floor
But
was warped beyond recognition, stuff like shopping carts and other stuff would roll in the shopping mall. This would be noticeable.
yeah, but we can't assume, right? We can't practically assume that the floor was perfectly flat, right? It might look like it,
How
but
would we determine that the floor is flat? Would we
well, we
use
could
a
just look.
laser? The same laser that the Globers say isn't good enough to determine Earth curvature, but is good enough to determine the flatness of a floor in a store?
Well, normally, correct me if I'm wrong, but most stores when they build these things, they build them with a slight, I'm gonna say either incline or slightly bowed in the middle, so that if there's a leak, it won't pool in the center of the floor.
How much of a hump do they do? Is it 8 inches per mile
Probably very,
squared of
very
store
slight.
hump?
No, I don't think it's just per mile squared. I think it's very slight. But again, remember we had this conversation before. I have a floor up in my upstairs of my house. Looks flat, but it's not. It actually has a few warps in it.
Most people assume for practical purposes it's flat, unless you have stuff rolling all over the place.
Well, we can't assume. I mean, and if it's a really really small small should I say grade or a hump, how much do you think something's going to roll?
That's up to you. I don't affirm this at all. You're saying that a hump could influence the results. I guess that would be up to you because I don't even think this is worth exploring. Even if there is a hump in the middle, I don't think it would affect the observations that much. But I could be wrong.
That means we really can't. We really can't use like store floors or house floors because we don't know whether or not those surfaces are perfectly flat.
Well, there are practical considerations in any measurement. Within practicality, we do try to determine if it is flat and level. But unless stuff's rolling all over the floor, most people would assume that it's more or less flat.
Well, we can also assume that there are no perfectly flat surfaces on Earth.
But it's good enough to at least demonstrate the principle. If there's that much curvature to block out an iPhone light, well, then that's another issue.
iPhone light?
That's what Life is Short used, an iPhone light,
Well, again,
light on an iPhone.
Again, we don't know whether or not that surface he was using was perfectly flat, so we can't use that.
I think for all practical purposes, it's fine. Otherwise, these buildings aren't up to code.
Shout out to Lemon. Lemon is I'm just saying for the audience to know, Lemon Bird is my third spirit animal. I'm just saying that to you now, Lemon. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, you're too kind, sir.
Good
Fly
time.
free, Jose. Fly free.
You know what else?
Yeah.
No one has nominated Lemon for a top left award. You are nowhere on that list.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I thought about like who do I want if I wanted, I didn't, it's kind of a silly type of thing. I said, you know what, but I'm gonna go just to be there, be a voice and be because I'm here in this neighborhood of the YouTube, so I will participate. I'm not gonna be an ass. But when I went over there and actually had the Brian Mavitt and Lemon Bird on mine, but what came out of my mouth, I said, no, it's me. I am nominating myself because I'm not gonna nominate anybody else. I mean, you guys don't deserve that. I deserve to be nominated for this dumb fuck of the year because of my denialism and my being illiterate in many many branches of science and stuff. So I actually, to be fair, nominated myself.
Yeah, but to be top left, you have to be really, really confident about everything. You have to get everything wrong, but be really sure of yourself.
Oh, I am sure that men never walked on the moon.
Right. And
Well,
if we're worried
somebody
about Lemon
asked
having a
about.
nomination, if we're worried about Lemon having a nomination there, what he could do is he could just accept the award in Gary Wybenga's in his place.
Well, Don Giovanni asked about left-right compression, but there's no walls outside or with other objects. Most of the compression is going to happen from the top down because there's a floor in the way, but no walls. And so left-right compression becomes irrelevant. The only compression you need to worry about is top down because you're closest to the floor. That's it. Now, if you want to worry about left-right compression, get close to a wall. Then that would become applicable.
And that's me. If I win, I will very gladly go to accept my prize. Thank you.
So did you say if the floor isn't completely flat, then that's against building code?
There's tolerance, sure, but if we're talking about enough floor obstruction to hide an iPhone camera, that's 2-3 centimeters of curve. I mean, would a building be up to code if there's 2 to 3 centimeters of curve in the floor?
So you're a building inspector now. There's nothing you can't do.
I'm a common sense inspector. Even though I'm not an expert in these fields, I can still test the narrative for BS, expert or not.
Right, I'll tell you now
that iPhone camera. That's
if the floor's long enough and large enough, it ain't flat. I'll tell you that now. They just aren't that flat.
Well, I guess we'd have to talk to building inspectors and see if they have a centimeter or 2 of curve that's allowable over, I guess, the span of 500 feet of store or whatever it is.
Oh, easily. Floors that big are deliberately not flat.
What sort of tolerance do they have for curvature or whatever?
It's not so much curvature. It's they're not perfectly level. They're not designed to be perfectly level. As somebody has said earlier, quite often drainage is taken into account. The fact it is also very hard to get these things perfectly level over that sort of distance. They just aren't. You can't just presume that the floor's flat and level because they're not.
We can if things aren't rolling.
It's the way they're made.
Comes to rest on it, then we can be fairly certain it's pretty flat.
No, see, you've once again you've got no idea of scale. Just because a trolley doesn't roll at that point doesn't mean to say that floor is perfectly flat and level.
I guess we need some specs to see how curved it is, or use a otherwise straight and true laser that's somehow not acceptable for testing the curvature of the Earth, to see if it's acceptable enough to test the flatness of the floor.
So how many years have you spent working in construction?
I just have common sense. I'm not going to let my senses be mangled by expertise or authority, not unless they show consistency.
Mm-hmm. You are a shield now, Lemonbird. You work for the government, CSI, Common Sense Inspector.
CSI.
Common Sense.
And have you lost your parachute, Lemonbird? If I ask you that, have you lost your parachute?
I'll have to check.
Or is your parachute still on the backpack, closed?
I'll have to see.
Because mines are like parachutes. They only work when open.
That is true.
A common sense inspector. That's very clever. You inspected it and rejected it.
Well, you have to use common sense with this stuff. Otherwise, people can tell you anything and you just gobble it up.
Where do I need to go to get a degree in common sense inspection or a common sense inspector?
CSI.
CSI, okay.
YouTube University is pretty good. They have an accredited program.
You got a sense of humor, Leonard, or at least you're cracking me up today.
Well, the truth is stranger than fiction.
Yours is.
Well, fiction has to match reality to be credible enough to be believed and enjoyable. The truth does not.
Yeah, and the parachute analogy that I used, it was in the Sean Hawkins type some things, and that gave me an idea because that was a mix of Sean Hawkins quote and my ending of my quote about the parachute.
On the way down, I'm sure something will happen. Perhaps I'll cry out to God and he'll save me. Maybe not.
CSI. Oh no, hail. Who do you hail to, Lemon? Do you hail to nobody? It's fine.
Hail to the Ancient of Days.
Well, Aristarchus.
Aristarchus.
Yellow Starkus.
Yeah. What do you think about Darwinism, Lemonberg?
I don't know. It sounds like Far East mysticism. You got the avatars in Hinduism that go from like fish to ape to God. It just seems like repackaged Hinduism to me.
But then the alternative to that is that almighty being, unknown, unseen, unfelt, created a man and a woman, and those two populated the earth to what we are today, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess the appeal of that is you have a witness account. The appeal of somebody who was there, aka God or somebody, who could say, hey, were you there and did this happen? That's much more appealing than, kind of like trying to go back into the past and basically assume based off of the assumptions that we tend to make today. So I guess there's strength in both positions, but, ideally we'd have a witness account to tell us what happened. Like God
for the
or
second
somebody.
account, people on incest.
Somebody to tell us what happened. Somebody that we could talk to personally, like God or Adam and Eve or their descendants.
How can you talk to God?
Prayer.
Really?
He's
You think
always
you're talking to God?
listening.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
I want to send my condolences to Bev subscribers. They went to over 3,000 subscribers, 3.04 thousand subscribers to 2.41. That was yesterday, but today 2.36 thousand subscribers. So I don't know, Bev. My condolences to all those subscribers that went.
Yeah,
Who knows where?
What's going on with that?
I don't know. I have
What's
no
going
idea.
on with that?
I have no idea.
Well, YouTube does sometimes delete subscribers. That's what's happened to Dubay. He did a whole video on how YouTube will take down likes, take away subscribers, unsubscribe people, and you'll contact them and they'll be like, I didn't unsubscribe from you, and stuff like that. So perhaps there's a flatty persecution going on or something like that.
Perhaps they actually tried thinking and found out it was all crap.
Yeah. Did it ever happen to you, Lemon, that you were unsubscribed against your will from a channel?
Nothing like that, but I do get suspicious because I have several things that I subscribe to, but my feed and its activity appears to be of a very limited sort. Certain videos get exposed more than others. And so at the very least, I think there's selective exposure where I'm subscribed to these people, but I'm not seeing them.
But Chai,
so I think there's a different degree with that.
Chai, hold on.
All notifications. Notifications.
Yeah, no, just remember, like Blue said, you have to remember to renew that rent a sub subscription. So if you don't renew it, I mean, you lose.
Yeah. And some videos get exposed incredibly. Like I'll go to a site once and all of a sudden all I'm seeing is, stuff from them. And maybe it's because they put out a lot of videos, but I'm like, I don't want to see this junk. I looked at it once and I really didn't even want to come back there again. So I find myself saying, not interested, not interested, not interested. And the stuff that I'm actually interested in being buried underneath all this stuff. I guess I'm expecting a bit more even exposure. If I subscribe to these people, I want to see them at least if they're putting out content anyway.
It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Well, we got on this tangent before your eyes glazed over because we're trying to see why Bev lost subscribers. Perhaps
because
it's
YouTube's doing another purge
or persecution.
No, YouTube every now and then does this purge of fake subscriptions, fake members of channels. It's happened several times before. I'd be very surprised if that isn't what they're doing again.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I heard the rumors like all of a sudden they're like, "Yo, like Bev went from I don't know 1,000 and some chump change subscribers to like 2,500 subscribers, like from one day to another." I heard him talking. He said, "I know because he had that beef with Slice Parkane. They were doing the back and forth via Twitter and shit like that." And I said, like, yeah, he might have caught a bunch of like legit subscribers from Twitter just going over there and trolling them. But all of a sudden, in this past few days, everybody just dropped. It doesn't make sense.
No, well, it's a known thing that you can buy subscribers, and it's also known that YouTube doesn't like that sort of thing. And every now and then they'll have a sort out. Now, it might not be in this case, but it certainly looks like it. Why else would you be hemorrhaging subscribers so quickly over a matter of a couple of 3 days?
Yeah, I was waiting. Now we gotta let's keep an eye on Simon Dan because there was the rumors that he lost subscribers earlier. Let's see if his subscribers go down by the thousands now. Boom.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious exactly when it was that he rapidly gained subscribers. If it's some suspicious time scale from now, like almost exactly 2 years ago, that would be interesting.
Well, you can look it up on there.
Exactly 1 year ago.
Yeah, it's a year ago.
Yeah, we looked it up. It was almost exactly a year ago.
Almost exactly a year ago. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
His subscription ran out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
It's
I mean, you got to remember to renew your subscription. If you don't, those people go away. He picked up 1,600 subs in 1 month. In 1 month, he picked up 1,600 subs for a channel that only had 1,600 to begin with. That's hard.
Dude, I am. For some reason, I got worried, like because I built my channel. This channel went really quick to 1,000 subscribers. So in a few days, I was getting 20 and 30 subscribers a day. For a few days, I got 1,000 really quick. But I cannot mess with none of that shit. I cannot risk to buy any of that because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, if I went to 1,000 subscribers, well, it did. Either it was like all legit, organic, and it happened. I just found my audience back, or somebody bought a package for me somehow. Even though I don't think that the way it works, because I guess that person needs nobody have my credentials. The
question is, what good does it do you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Subs don't help you a bit.
No, exactly.
It doesn't make any difference if you got 1 billion subs.
Exactly, and nobody watches. You have no live interaction.
It's based on interactions.
Yeah, I'm really happy right now with 1,000, just 1,000, under 1,020 subscribers, 60 plus people watching my shows almost daily. That's fucking awesome. I'm like overwhelmed. Like, thank you so much. That's how you call organic subscribers. And every day that I was getting 20, 30 subscribers, a few people always popping in and in the comment section and in Discord, like, I just found your channel, holy shit. And thank you for posting this link in whatever server, Mr. Sensible and Blue server and Bob server. I've been throwing links, shilling my shit. Blue, you noticed in the chat box. I've been throwing my links, hey, live now over here. And I know there's a bunch of people over there. People want to come in and lurk in the background. Well, welcome everybody. And if you are new watching, just lurking in the background, type something in the chat box so you can get a blue range and you can post links and troll responsibly. So thank you, everybody. Hell yeah.
You don't need to buy subs, Jose. Most of us are paid by NASA. I mean, I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you're not.
Mr. Space Cat, Mr. Victory says, the only reason to buy subs is for status and stroking your ego. Sounds like something Bev would do. Boom.
I think it's the purge, gentlemen. The purge of wrong think off the platform. Anything that questions the normie narrative must be purged.
Well, maybe.
I totally agree with you, Lemon. I absolutely do.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Great minds think alike, gentlemen.
Or Bev just stopped paying the bills.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to, speak to people from the other side. The discussion is much more robust, although you do deal with zealotry and zealous persecution and, stuff like that. And sometimes you will get shouted down or drummed out of the room. It does make for a much more interesting chat.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, look at that. You see? See, J-Trick showed up. We got a new. Hello, J-Trick. Are you new? Because I'm new. Good to see you. I don't know who you are, but I heard your name around, so you get a range. You get a range. Everyone gets a range. Boom. I'm happy. I'm gonna go. I'm shutting the show. Like we're gonna do final thoughts now. It's a little earlier, a little shorter than usual. But I'm gonna go see my mom and my dad. They're still here. My sisters. I'm gonna spend the afternoon with them. They're gonna leave on Saturday, first time in the morning. So I'm gonna spend the day with them. Maybe tomorrow, Friday afternoon, go hang out with them for a few minutes. Like Thursday or Friday. And yeah, they're gone, man, for now. So it was good times, the few moments that I spent with them over here. Big shout out to Sean Smith, $5 super chat. Bev might have lost subscribers because people got tired of hearing flat and level. Shout out to Sean Smith for the $5.
Horizon.
Perpendicular.
Yeah, they were going too high. They're just trying to find the level. The Bev subscribers are trying to find the level now. Dropping. Everybody going down.
Trying to find that square that's only got two sides.
Yeah. Everybody going down.
You say there's drop to that level?
Hey!
Hey, boom.
Is it a visual level or a physical level? Those are two different things.
Is that level smooshing? That's the question.
Is your level line disappearing or compressing into more information up and down from the level line?
I have heard that levels are just lights in the sky.
I heard that your level line disappears and you got to double check it with a laser.
Ooh, you win. Laser wins all the time.
Dang right.
Pew pew.
Like a light.
Ariv, Lemonbird, Fetuses. Do you want to take 30 seconds and invite the audience for those globe skeptics and people with the opposite view to not today, but to entertain the idea of joining us over here in the discussion? Because to be fair, you've been here a lot of times and you not always are being treated fair. But is it me? I always treat you fair. I think I just want your really your what you really think about the way I do this. And I know there's the panel members. I cannot control everybody, so I try to get in between there as close as I can. But will you? Are you happy with telling people it's okay to come into this channel and talk to us and have a chat with us every once in a while?
Oh yeah. Usually you're pretty fair. I know it's hard to have two contentious debates with two, sides going at each other's throats. But usually it's very civil over here. Come on down to Jose's. They won't bite your head off. And so yeah. Come on down. Good discussion is to be had on both sides of the issue. And some of the panelists aren't too zealous about the globe. There are a couple exceptions. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Come on down.
Good. Appreciate it. Some people just because they say, oh, Jose, I know that's the whatever flip-flop. Fuck it. He sucks. He's just a globe zealot. People don't even want to look what goes down over here, Just not the way a lot of people
I've
say I
seen you
am.
come on other shows too, like Oakley's and stuff, and some of that stuff is just crazy. And the dogpiling, from both sides can be, a little hard. So it's nice to just, set the tone for the room. We're not going to dogpile and just, rip this person apart, just yet. So it is nice to just, have a nice discussion, without being at each other's throats and stuff.
Right. So good. And as I say, I mean, this channel is not about. It's not education. I'm not here to teach you. Maybe you're here to teach us, so I'll entertain. I listen, But this is not education. This is not about science. Even though we talk about the topic, we're interested in the topic, but you're not coming over here for me to tell you at the end of every statement or at the end of the show. Oh, this person was right. This person was wrong. I'm the judge and the executioner. I'm gonna tell you what is correct, and the shape of the earth is this because I say so. I'm nothing like that. I'm just giving you all the room to talk it out, and leave it out there, and then the audience is listening. The audience decide who's right, who's wrong, who took the best approach, who was an asshole, who was not. That's not my job to say. I mean, I say it sometimes, but it's not my job to say. So whatever I say, if I make any judgment on who was right or wrong, is it's not because I say so is right or wrong. It's up to you, the audience and the panelists, to tell yourself, yeah, Jose was just wrong in this one.
You
Right.
facilitate a conversation.
Yeah.
You're not here for the, the S show, only or whatever. You try to facilitate a conversation, which is a breath of fresh air in these trolling Discord servers, especially.
I really do. That's what I'm trying. If there's a lot of, if it's a very lame topic or going spinning around, I try to, break the ice a little bit and bring something, a little touch of something new. Maybe throw this little spark to the wood to see if it lights up on fire. That's my job. If there's a pile of wood and we're just sitting around in a chair looking at the wood, no, man, I think it's more fun to look at a bit of a fire burn, So that's my job, to light the fire, and then we all sit back and look at it,
Yeah, we stay around for some of the art and stuff like that, get to see some of your art show and stuff, and talk about this and that with the shape of the earth, culture, style, all sorts.
Tomorrow, I think, not 100% promise, but I think tomorrow is the day that I'm going to do the first drawing memberships for Left Lane, aka Howard Moore. He became a member, and for the big package on the memberships, you get 2 drawings a month. So he already asked me, he gave me an idea. I did a kind of a sketch idea, and it's going to be these six people from history, recognized scientists and people that we know. So we're gonna have fuck, where is it? I got an idea over here, and it's gonna be 6 characters of science. Pythagoras is gonna be there. Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla, and Galileo Galilei. They're going to be their faces with their names underneath and the little logo on what made them famous. What are they famous for? Like Einstein is going to have a little chalkboard with EMC squared. Charles Darwin is going to have the little icon for the little monkey until it's a little hunch, until it's standing up. Something like that. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to draw that tomorrow live. Not 100% a promise, but I am 80% sure that I will be drawing that live tomorrow as the show go on.
Nice.
And it will be mailed. Yeah, it's going to be physical mail to him, that paper, that paper copy. Hopefully he got a nice frame to put it in his room or something, his truck or something. Hell yeah. Let's do some final thoughts. I'm gonna get out here, take a good shower, and go visit my parents, man. Shaik, give us your final thoughts, man.
Don't really have any. Thank you.
Thank you, man, for coming. Appreciate it. Earth is live. Your final thoughts, if you're there.
Hey, what's up, Jose? Yeah, good show. Yeah, same old flat Earth nonsense.
So good. It was a nice and mellow show today, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Thank you. Farmer's Boy.
Not really much to say. Yes, we've had a nice gentle ramble along and not really got anywhere, but yeah, it's nice and relaxing. Thank you very much. Thank you for the having somewhere to come and do stuff.
Hell yeah, man. That's the idea, brother. I appreciate you having me here, man. Yep. Fred, are you there for final thoughts? How about Gary? Grubus, final thoughts.
Yeah, it was a fun show. Lemon Bird's nuttier than a squirrel poop, but yeah, he had me laughing today.
That's weird. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Grubus. J Mac in the house with final thoughts.
Thanks for the show, Jose. Enjoy the time with your parents.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will indeed, yeah. And FTC's, the one and only Lemon Bird, final thoughts.
As far as I can tell with the spherical geometry stuff, you still need a straight line radius to make your spherical surface. So why the hell are we talking about curves? We're still going to need straight line standards to measure the curvature supposed of the Earth. So why don't we use straight standards like lasers, long distance, and infrared line of sight to determine if this is a ball or if there's any curvature at all?
Thank you so much. And to everybody over here in the panel, thank you for coming and being a part of the discussion. Thank you everybody in the YouTube for being there and keeping it alive in the chat box, lively and alive. To everybody, don't forget to hit the like on this video, share the show, leave us a comment in the comment section. I'm still doing that. The first comment thrown in there will be pinned for the audience. Will be pinned under the video. So leave that there. Make sure that the bell notification icon is on. Check on the links on the description box, how to support the channel and entertain the idea of doing so. Go out there, enjoy real life, enjoy your social life, face-to-face, in person. If you got parents, if you got wives, if you got a husband, sons, daughters, nephews, nieces, family, friends that you like and appreciate, hug them, tell them how much you love them, and enjoy spending time with them. If you got a pet, it could be a dog, it could be a rat. Give them some love. Don't let them starve and don't treat them bad. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Jose JG out. Boom.